Hi guys, my name is Layla Sophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, luxury handbags, and all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. So today I am very excited about this video. As I stated in my intro, I am a fine jewelry designer. I have my own eponymous brand, Layla Sophia Jewelry. I'm wearing all of my pieces right here today. My pieces are all inspired by my family heritage, my Moroccan ancestry, by North African ancient design, and I absolutely can't wait to share with you guys. I'm going to be doing a brand overview soon, but to start, I wanted to go over some of my favorite incredible contemporary fine jewelry designers. I have worked in the jewelry industry for 10 years. This January is actually my little 10th year anniversary. And so I've been doing this for a while, and I am so excited to be able to highlight some of my colleagues, some designers who I've always appreciated and loved and admired. And so I can't wait to tell you about them. The first designer I'm going to talk about is none other than Prunus. Jean Prunus, the designer, is this incredible woman. She makes all of her pieces in 22 karat. They are inspired by Art Deco, kind of old New York era. They're American classic, some traditional, some ancient inspiration back there, but her pieces are just so gorgeous, so amazing. I have had the pleasure to try on a few of her pieces, and when I tell you the quality is just absolutely unmatched. She is so brilliant. There's kind of a simplicity that goes with her work that is timeless, true heirloom jewelry that you can pass down, pass over, pass across, however you're gonna pass it down, and her pieces are just beautiful. 22 karat is really special. It is nearly 100% karat gold, and so that means that there is only a little bit of extra alloy added for a little bit more hardness. The stones she uses are so beautiful, so brilliant. As we kind of have already established in my first two YouTube videos that I've posted, I am a total neutrals girl, and for some reason Jean's stones that she adds are just the most beautiful colors. They kind of become neutrals in themselves. You can wear them any different way. She's definitely in my kind of top 3 all-time favorite designers. I absolutely love her. The next designer is Alice Weiss. I believe I'm saying her last name correctly. Please tell me if I'm wrong, and I'm so sorry if I am. Alice has these amazing, incredible designs. I'm gonna say that about everybody, but they really are. Her pieces I discovered probably for the first time. I think I was in this like random stumbled into a concept store in London in Shoreditch about maybe 8 years ago, which is really crazy. She had this emerald ring that I swear like jumped out of the case onto me, and I was like, this is brilliant. For a long time I had never seen pieces that were kind of sculpted, handmade. There are a few designers who do it, but for some reason her pieces and her style just really spoke to me. The way that her collection has been developing over the last couple of years, I have been totally closely following everything, all of the updates. There is this kind of one-of-a-kind, very sculpted. She makes all of her pieces by hand. They're different than anything else, and yet she's like mastered this amazing in-between of having them be different and unique, and yet wearable and kind of classics in their own right. Next is a designer who I am lucky enough to know. This is Kim Dunham. I think she really spearheaded kind of her own little movement, her own little wave in the jewelry industry. If you've never heard of her, I would absolutely check out her Instagram. What she does is that she makes true modern signets, modern heirlooms, modern works of art, in my opinion. Each one of her rings are completely created for you. I believe the way that her process works is that she kind of has a questionnaire Once she takes you on as a client, she'll get to know you, she'll ask questions about your family history, your background, and I think a lot of her inspiration is just so personal, so unique. Each one of the pieces that she posts, I just become mesmerized with. Next, we have, oh, such a good one. Next, we have Aisley. Again, I believe I'm saying that correctly, but Aisley is this similar kind of modern heirloom designer. She makes pieces that are meant to be passed down. They are so gorgeous. They almost look like they've kind of been found or in museums. Obviously, she takes a lot of inspiration again from the ancient world. I know that there's a couple ancient references in there. Her medallions in particular, I think were the first thing to like grab me. I remember seeing her collections probably like 4 or 5 years ago in Barney's, RIP Barney's. Her pieces are meant to be layered and loved and worn and kind of like added on to over time. The stone pieces that she's been coming out with lately, oh my goodness, some like brilliant, really cool, unique cut diamonds, shield cut diamonds. I think everybody has a weakness for shield cut diamonds. I've seen a few custom rings that she's made with them, and my goodness, I would love to own one of her pieces one day. Okay, I'm completely and wholly, totally obsessed with this next designer. A lot of the designers that we're talking about, I've followed for a really, really long time, for years with many of them, but this designer, I feel like I totally missed out. I just discovered her. I am talking about Darius Jewels. Darius, oh my goodness. This collection is like, for some reason, so speaks to me and kind of my taste to everything, and so I know it'll speak to a lot of you guys. Her pieces are absolutely gorgeous. From what I have researched, her family is of Persian descent, and so similarly to my creation, she takes a lot of inspiration from her family heritage, from her history, from ancient history. I mean, you guys are seeing all the pieces on screen. It's just like, I'm totally in love. Okay, a really fun new one to me again. For some reason, these two, I was late on the train. I'm getting on it. I'm getting on it now. This designer, I believe, is pronounced Tabeyer. Their pieces are so cool, simple, a lot of kind of similar motifs going through the collection. Their Instagram is just so gorgeous, their website, everything. It's this really cool, almost ribbon shape that sometimes in the simplicity, there is beauty. And for some reason, the way that like these diamonds are just like literally dripping down some of the pieces, it's so gorgeous. This one ring that I'll post right now is absolutely on my list. Tabeyer is gorgeous, beautiful. Next, we have El Hanati. Again, I believe her full name is Orit El Hanati, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. She is a designer from Copenhagen, Denmark. Her pieces are just really, really like one of the most unique and sculptural designers on this list. I have a friend who has one of her rings, and I swear to you, every time I see her, I can't stop staring at her finger. They look like they are rocks that have been kind of like molded out of the ground or forged out of the ground, and then it's like this brilliant, yummy, buttery, yellowy gold that she uses. Again, the diamonds, the stones, especially in the collection that I love, which I believe is called the Rock Collection. Diamonds are just like, beautifully placed all over, like no big deal. These gorgeous stones just like perfectly placed kind of in a less conventional way. El Hanati is, I mean, she's incredible. Next is Eli Khalili. He had a studio right near me, so I used to be able to go in anytime and kind of check and see what's new. He is also a designer who works in 22 karat. There's not that many of them, but one day I'll definitely do a dedicated 22 karat design video. Ellie Halili has these, again, I guess I'm very drawn to kind of ancient styles. They really seem timeless, like they've already been passed down and yet they're new. The signet rings, some of the bracelets, I love kind of the gender fluidity. Jewelry is genderless, just regardless, but he definitely leans in more to having some masculine pieces, having some pieces that are definitely geared towards men, which we'll also do a video on. I absolutely love some of the one-of-a-kind pieces, the stones that are used, the kind of like token coins. Ellie Halili is so brilliant. Okay, next is the designer that I'm assuming and like hoping that is maybe one of the most well-known, or that hopefully you guys know, especially if you're watching this video. This is Foundrae. Foundrae is just, I think Foundrae changed the game for a lot of reasons. It is already, in my brain at least, a classic, amazing, like staple forever line in the jewelry industry. Beth Foundrae is the designer. She makes true modern heirlooms, is I believe what she calls them. It was kind of the start of the gold layering vibe. If you've seen people wearing big, chunky, huge chains with a bunch of medallions kind of layering off one chain, then chances are she started that trend. The pieces that were kind of the anchor staple that really are the foundation of her collections are lariat chains. That is a normal chain with then a drop down. And so she had that as the base, and then you could choose your own medallion, and then people do these like gorgeous, write a novel basically with their lives, and will add on little medallions. I think that that was just the most brilliant thing. I mean, if you love personal jewelry and kind of like adding on, if you're a jewelry lover who loves one piece and then wants to layer over time, you can go and add on more medallions. Foundrae is, need I say more? Okay, the next one I am so excited to talk about. The next designer is Pippa Small. I have had the pleasure of meeting her and kind of getting to know her a little bit. Pippa is just this amazing, very, very thoughtful designer. I particularly love her 22 karat pieces. I know that she spends so much time kind of making these unique, truly one-of-a-kind amulets and rings with beautiful stones. These colors of the stones, it's like they're just kind of falling from the sky. They're like this beautiful array of colors. She uses a plethora of gemstones, and so there's really something for everybody. She's really cool because she has a bunch of different lines. She has some charitable lines. She has lines that benefit different cultures. I know that there are a lot of lines where proceeds are donated, and so she is obviously a very special designer to me. I absolutely love her. Okay, Polly Wales is next. When I tell you, Polly Wales was probably like one of the first designers years ago, years and years ago, that I saw and was like, this is how you can make this? Polly Wales is just, her pieces are so brilliant with still being so simple. Her and designers like Tabayer, who we spoke about earlier, are the true definition of just like having a style, even making slight variations. Every single skull ring, and I'm not a color, I don't even like color that much, so I feel like that's really saying something, because I feel like for whatever reason, the colors that she chooses just speak to me, and I barely have any color in my home or in my wardrobe. Polly Wales was like one of my first loves. Okay, Vram is next. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I mean, the sculptural aspects to these works of art. If you are an architect or work kind of in a visual field, if you're a sculptor or anything, you will love Vram. For the most part, I know it's just like chunky gold, which is obviously my thing. Ram does it in such an artistic, subtle, yet absolutely not subtle way. Their pieces are, I mean, they're structural yet organic. Ram is so cool. Anita Ko is an LA-based designer. Her pieces are kind of like the modern jeweler with a twist. Anita's pieces are modern and fresh and yet truly, truly classics. I have seen people do some of the coolest ear stacking games with her pieces. I have seen the tennis necklace just gleaming alongside somebody's personal collection. Her pieces are true works of art. If you're ever looking to kind of skip the middleman and have classic diamond-centered pieces, Anita Ko has brilliant options. Okay, next I have a fun one. Again, really, really cool, innovative, yet simple design. This is Spinelli Kilcullen. Spinelli has their own signature style. If you've ever seen, it's like a bunch of rings. It can be anywhere from 1 to 5 maybe, that are stacked and then clasped with their own other rings. So when you fold them out, it makes like a really cool stack of rings, and then you can kind of fold them inwards and put them on 1 finger, take one out, put it on 2 fingers, even put it on 3 fingers. To make that much variation with just such a simple concept, Spinelli will kind of always be this timeless in the design industry, in the jewelry industry, designer. One of my favorites has a couple different color champagne diamonds or multicolor diamonds. I know that there are black diamonds, white diamonds, champagne, brown diamonds. The coolest part, if you love to mix metals, Spinelli might be the designer for you. Okay, this next designer is last year's Gem Award winner, Harwell Godfrey. Her pieces are so different, unique, colorful, fun, yet still very, very fine, very refined. She has some funky kind of unique motifs. It's truly the like, yes, I wear fine jewelry, but no, I'm also cool. I think that her pieces are made for someone who just loves design, innovation. Harwell has these amazing collections. They're all really different and unique from each other, but the way that she plays with color is beyond me. There are some pieces that look very Art Deco-y. There are some pieces that look very vintage. Her pieces, I think, are absolutely amazing. Okay, next we have another very well-known designer. This is Brent Neale. Brent Neale's pieces are, again, kind of not similar, but for the person who loves very, you know, high-end luxury fine jewelry, but is like, no, but I'm still really cool. It's the mom who owns a business. It's the mom who wants to show up to pick up her kids like casually dripped with like really, really amazing pieces. If you've ever seen little mushroom necklaces, then chances are that might be Brent Neale. The way that she cuts stones and adds them into different shapes is beyond me. Oh my goodness. Recently, I have been drooling over her gypsy set collection. I am a sucker for gypsy set stones for some reason. Like, how could you not like them? It's obviously kind of a more vintage style that I'm so into. The way that she sets these huge stones and then makes them look like effortless and beautiful. Brent Neale, oh my goodness. Okay, a fun designer who is so cool. This is Buddha Mama. Buddha Mama has, oh my goodness, like drool-worthy, such cool designs. If you've ever seen, they have some like big chunky medallions. My favorites are the Hamza, the Ganesh, the Buddhas. I have to say, honestly, some of the Ganesh pieces, hands down to you. I've seen a couple people wear them in their own everyday stacks. Yes, I'll take them all. I'll take them all. We're down to our last few. If you guys are still with me, thank you, thank you. So next we have Hoorsenbuhs, which again, I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. Hoorsenbuhs is already a established, timeless, they're in the nearing Cartier Van Cleef for me, in my opinion. In the few occasions that I've been able to try on some of their pieces, they just have that feel to them even, like they're modern, but they're really a design house almost. Hoorsenbuhs plays around with their motif that will be either repetitive on a ring. It's again this like chunky, yummy gold. As you can tell by my list, that's my vibe. One thing that I like about them the most is that I can see so many different styles matching well with theirs. I can see one of their rings easily kind of just like slipping into a collection and not having you have to worry, does this match my other pieces? Does this match my Cartier Bangle? Does this match my new Van Cleef Alhambra? Hoorsenbuhs is, I mean, they're already classics in my brain. Okay, our last two are really, really fun. The second to last one is Anthony Lent. Anthony Lent is one of those very, very impressive designers with an amazing resume. He speaks to me because the skull pieces, for one, the really, really interesting motifs. He has some animal pieces. His designs are absolutely unique. Some of them look like you could find them in a forest, and yet it's done in this like really elevated way. I can also see his pieces appealing to a wide array of clients. The Instagram eye candy is just to die for. And we're on to our last and absolutely not least. This whole list is not ordered in any way. They're just designers that I think everybody needs to know about, especially in the jewelry world. This last designer is Uniform Object. Again, kind of a more recent addition to my jewelry knowledge. Their pieces, I mean, if you like gorgeous, gigantic, beautiful diamonds and precious stones, Uniform Object might be for you. Anytime people, a lot of people in this list included, kind of merge the fine, high, precious jewelry with chunky gold jewelry, I'm like, swoon, truly. It's just so beautiful. Uniform Object in particular feels innovative and fresh and new, and I've been loving following them. Well, that is 20 contemporary fine jewelry designers that you should absolutely know, and I hope now you'll go check out their Instagrams, their websites, their pages. I have loved some of them for years, and I've just discovered some of them. Tell me which one is your favorite. Tell me which one is already in your collection. Tell me which pieces are on your wish list, because we all have some wish lists, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like this video, subscribe for some more amazing fun content in the future, and I cannot wait to see you next time.